Okay, so have you ever felt like you're about to like uncover a secret? Because that's kind of how I feel about this whole deep dive into Absolute Superman #3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're going way beyond the typical Superman origin story. We're going to focus on issue 3,
Okay.
where the entire story takes place on Krypton.
Interesting.
And this Krypton,
Yeah.
it's not the noble utopia we're used to.
Right. Yeah. What's so interesting is that this issue throws us right into a world that feels familiar, but also like completely unsettling. We meet Kal-El, the young Superman, along with his parents, Jor-El and Lara.
Of course.
But this isn't the, wholesome family dynamic that we might expect.
Yeah, I mean, this Krypton is like on the verge of collapse, and
Mhm.
there's a conspiracy going on to save like only the planet's elite.
Yeah.
It just makes you wonder what kind of Superman will come out of this environment.
Well, and that's exactly the question that this issue explores.
Right.
We get to see Kal-El's childhood,
Hmm.
but it's very different from the idyllic farm life that we usually associate with Clark Kent.
Yeah, for example, he loves exploring nature with his parents.
Right.
But, in school, he's not the star athlete we're used to at all.
Interesting.
He struggles,
Oh, white.
and he refuses to cheat using a device called the Luminarium.
Huh. Interesting.
And it just makes me wonder, will this vulnerability shape how he interacts with humans later on?
Oh, that's such a good point. It really challenges the idea of Superman as this, inherently superior being.
Right.
He's presented as somebody who faces challenges
Yeah,
and has to make ethical choices even as a kid.
totally. And speaking of ethical choices, things get really intense when Jor-El starts acting a little suspiciously.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's collecting crystals, doing secret research. It's like something out of a spy thriller.
Yeah, and all of this is happening while Krypton is experiencing all these environmental disasters.
Right.
Kal-El even discovers these dead animals.
What?
Yeah, emitting this strange green gas.
Wow.
And then there's this really unsettling detail. The Science Guild, which should be at the forefront of dealing with all this, is mysteriously absent from Kandor, the capital city.
It all seems very deliberate.
It does.
Right. It's like the writer is dropping all these clues
Yeah.
to build suspense and hint at this much bigger conspiracy.
Exactly. And it makes you question everything.
Yeah.
Like, who's really in control here?
Yeah.
What are they hiding?
And how does the L family fit into all of this?
Right.
Well, things escalate really quickly when Jor-El is arrested.
Oh, no.
But Lara, his wife, doesn't just stand by.
Oh, wow.
She attempts this daring rescue using a prototype battlesuit.
Get out.
Talk about a power move.
Wow, that really challenges our assumptions about these characters.
Totally.
They're not just scientists, they're active agents fighting for what they believe in.
Exactly. And their son, Kal-El, he's no slouch either.
Oh, really?
He uses his hacking skills to uncover the Science Guild's secret plan.
Okay.
They're evacuating the planet, leaving everyone else behind.
Oh my gosh, that's awful.
Yeah, it's a chilling betrayal and throws the L family into this desperate fight for survival.
Right.
So they decide to build their own rocket to escape.
Right.
But in this panic, Kal-El accidentally leaks the conspiracy to the whole planet.
Oh, no.
So instead of this quiet escape, they're now public enemy #1, racing against time to expose the truth and save themselves.
Wow, that's a far cry from the traditional narrative where Jor-El sends Kal-El off in a last-minute, desperate act.
Exactly.
Here, they're working together as a family,
Yeah.
making these difficult choices and facing the consequences as a unit.
And then just when you think you've got a handle on things, the issue throws us this curveball.
Oh, really?
It ends with this elderly woman named Martha Kent calling for her son to return. But she's in some kind of institution.
Okay.
And the staff are confused because as far as they know, she doesn't have a son.
Okay.
And then bam,
Yeah.
the writer reveals her full name.
Martha Kent.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's wait, what?
That's a total mind bender.
Right.
It leaves us with so many questions.
Totally.
Is this our Martha Kent?
Right.
How does she fit into this Kryptonian timeline?
Yeah.
Is this time travel?
Yeah.
Alternate dimensions or something even weirder?
It's definitely a choice by the writer
It
to
is.
upend our expectations and make us reconsider everything we thought we knew about Superman's story.
And it's incredibly effective. It makes you want to dive right into the next issue
Absolutely.
to find out what happens next.
So we have this darker, more ethically compromised
Yeah.
Krypton,
Yeah.
a young Kal-El who is more vulnerable and faces real challenges, parents who are way more action-oriented.
Right.
Plus, this huge question mark hanging over everything with the appearance of Martha Kent.
It sets the stage for a Superman who's shaped by loss, betrayal, and this much more complicated upbringing than we're used to.
Totally.
And it makes you wonder what kind of hero or even anti-hero he might become. Right. We left off with like a ton of questions
Yeah.
about how this different Krypton
Right.
will like shape Kal-El into the Superman we know
Yeah.
or think we know.
Right.
He's seen a planet, on the brink of destruction,
Yeah.
a government that chose self-preservation over its people,
Right.
his own family torn apart
Yeah.
by these events.
That's crazy.
It just makes you wonder if truth, justice, and the American way will even resonate with this guy.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like he's being set up as this cautionary tale,
Right.
a warning about the dangers of, unchecked power and corruption.
Yeah.
He's not just witnessing these things.
Right.
He's actively involved,
Yeah.
like hacking into systems and exposing secrets.
Totally. It makes you think about the impact he might have when he gets to Earth.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm really struck by how this issue portrays his parents, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're not just brilliant scientists. They're fighters,
Yeah.
willing to risk everything to protect their son and expose the truth.
Yeah, adds a whole new layer to that sacrificial parent trope.
Right. It
Absolutely.
makes their actions even more meaningful
Yeah.
because they're choosing to fight back against a system they know is corrupt.
Right.
They're not just accepting their fate.
Yeah, they're making a stand.
They're making a stand for what they believe in.
Right.
I wonder if that rebellious spirit will carry over to Kal-El.
Yeah, that's a good question. It makes me think about how he'll view authority figures on Earth.
Oh, totally.
Will he be more likely to question them, to see through any facade of power?
Right.
I mean, he's already learned that even the most advanced civilizations can be, deeply flawed.
That's a really interesting point.
Yeah.
This version of Superman might be more cynical, more jaded.
Oh, yeah.
He's seen firsthand how easy power corrupts, and he might be less inclined to trust blindly.
He might.
It could make for some really tense interactions
Oh, yeah.
with figures like the president or even other superheroes.
Right. Imagine him going up against someone like Lex Luthor.
He wouldn't just see him as this power-hungry villain.
Right.
He might see him as a reflection of the very system that destroyed Krypton. That would make their conflict even more personal and more intense.
And what about his relationship with, humanity in general?
Yeah.
Will he see us as fundamentally good? Or will he be constantly looking for signs of the same corruption
Right.
that led to Krypton's downfall?
Yeah, such a great question. It's like he's been given this cosmic preview
Right.
of what can happen when a society loses its way.
Yeah.
It might make him incredibly protective of Earth,
Yeah.
but it could also lead him down this darker path.
Oh, totally. What if he starts seeing threats everywhere,
Yeah,
even when they don't exist?
he could become a very different kind of Superman.
Yeah?
One who's more proactive,
Right.
maybe even more ruthless in his pursuit of justice.
Right.
He might be less inclined to follow the rules or wait for others to act.
Right.
He could become a vigilante figure.
Operating outside the law to prevent what he sees as inevitable disaster.
And then there's that Martha mystery
Yeah.
hanging over everything.
True.
We still don't know how she fits in.
Right.
Is it time travel?
Yeah.
Parallel universe?
Uh-huh.
Some weird cosmic connection we haven't even considered?
Right. It's such a brilliant cliffhanger.
It is.
It makes you question everything you thought you knew about Superman's origins and his connection to Earth.
Totally.
It could be a huge turning point in the story.
Right.
Maybe even the key to understanding how this darker, more cynical Kal-El eventually becomes the hero we know.
It makes me think about how much our perception of Superman is tied to his upbringing on Earth,
Yeah.
to the values instilled in him by the Kents.
Right.
If that element is changed or even removed altogether,
Yeah.
who does he become?
It's a question that goes to the very heart of the Superman mythos.
Right.
Is he a product of nature or nurture?
Yeah.
Is his goodness inherent, or is it shaped by his experiences?
Right.
This series seems to be suggesting that it might be a bit of both.
And that makes for a much more complex and compelling character.
It does.
It makes you want to keep reading to see how this all plays out.
Absolutely.
I'm dying to know what happens next.
Me too.
Oh.
This issue has definitely raised the stakes and opened up a whole new world of possibilities for the Superman mythos.
We've talked a lot about the implications of this darker origin story,
Right.
but let's shift gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about the reviewer's specific reactions to this issue.
Okay.
He gave it a perfect score.
Wow.
and raved about Jason Aaron's writing,
Uh,
particularly how he manages to balance these fresh, unexpected elements with the core of who Superman is.
yeah, that's what I found so compelling, too.
Right.
Even though this Kal-El is vastly different from what we're used to, you can still see glimpses of the hero he'll become.
Yeah.
There's that inherent goodness, that desire to protect others, even though it's being expressed in this much more reactive, almost aggressive way.
So we've been like dissecting the heavier themes of Absolute Superman #3,
Right.
but the reviewer also raved about the execution,
Oh, yeah.
especially Rafa Sandoval's art.
Uh-huh.
He gave it a perfect score.
Wow.
And it's easy to see why.
Yeah, the art is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it's not just about these cool visuals,
Right.
although there are plenty of those.
Yeah.
But Sandoval really captures the emotional weight
Totally.
of the story.
Uh-huh.
You can feel the tension, the fear, the desperation
Yeah.
in every single panel.
The reviewer specifically mentioned
Oh, yeah.
how much he loved Lara's battle suit.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's pretty awesome
It is.
to see Superman's mom kicking butt.
Right.
But beyond that, it just shows how capable
Yeah.
and strong she is.
Uh-huh.
It really challenges that traditional damsel in distress trope,
Right.
often associated with female characters
Yeah, definitely.
in comics.
It also raises the question, where did she get that suit?
Right.
Is it Kryptonian tech or something she developed herself?
So
It hints at a whole backstory
Yeah.
we haven't even explored yet.
I love those little details that
Right.
make you want to dig deeper.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of details, the reviewer was blown away by the cover art,
Oh, yeah.
especially the main cover,
Right.
with the LO family facing that impending explosion.
Yeah.
So simple, yet so powerful.
Yeah, it perfectly captures that tragedy and the sense of impending doom
Uh-huh.
that hangs over the entire issue.
Right?
It's a great example of how a single image can convey so much emotion and story.
Totally. He also liked the variant cover by Mike Perkins and Mike Spicer,
Okay.
calling it fun
Uh-huh.
and retro,
Okay.
but he wasn't as keen on the other variants.
Interesting.
It just goes to show art is subjective,
It is.
and what resonates with one person
Yeah.
might not with another.
Absolutely. But ultimately, it's the story itself that has the biggest impact.
For sure.
And this issue is packed with twists, turns, and moments that make you question everything you thought you knew about Superman.
The reviewer definitely felt that way. You can sense his enthusiasm
All right.
as he breaks down the plot and analyzes the characters. It's like he wants to share this amazing discovery with everyone.
It is contagious.
He did.
That's the power of a good story well told.
Right.
It sparks these conversations, it makes you think, and leaves you wanting more.
This deep dive has definitely done that for me.
Yeah, me too.
It's made me look at Superman in a whole new light,
Uh-huh.
and I can't wait to see how the series continues to challenge our expectations.
Yeah, the big question is, how will this version of Superman,
Right.
shaped by a dying planet and a corrupt system, react to Earth?
Totally.
Will he be a symbol of hope, or will he become something more jaded, more cynical?
It's a question worth pondering,
It is.
and it's what makes Absolute Superman such a compelling read.
Totally.
It's not just a superhero story.
Right.
It's a reflection of our own world, our own fears and anxieties.
We've only scratched the surface of
Yeah.
this complex and thought-provoking series.
Yeah,
But hopefully, this deep dive has given you a glimpse of what makes it so special.
for sure.
If you're a fan of Superman or even just a fan of good storytelling, I highly recommend checking it out for yourself.
So until our next deep dive,
Yeah.
keep exploring
Keep questioning.
and never stop asking,
Yeah.
what if?